Good afternoon, Canberra, and welcome back to On the Right Track with your host, as always, Maggie Wright. Today we're talking with my mate Roseanna, a bit about volleyball and then the art of zorbing a little bit later on, which is interesting. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, fabulous. I'm getting there. Now, as I said last week about cricket, I know nothing. Oh, not nothing about volleyball. I know you have to get it over the net.
Yep.
But that's basic.
Yeah.
So, basic rules of volleyball. How we looking? Like, obviously not stepping out of the lines, getting the ball over. Like, is there a certain amount of times you're allowed to touch it, or
when
like
you're
the ball? Yeah. Or anything.
Okay. Yeah. So you start 2 teams.
Okay.
6 on each side. Usually, players will have like a title. Like I'm middle. I'm setter. I'm opposite hitter. I'm libero. They all have their own thing.
That's
libero, yeah. Or some people say libero.
Libero. So what's that?
The libero is like I like to say the master of defense.
Okay.
They're kind of like really good at like digging, so like passing the ball up and getting it precise. They can't like attack, like they can't like spike at the front. They're not allowed to be in the front row, so there are 3 in the front, 3 in the back. So they're only allowed in the back row. They're also not allowed to serve. They usually are the ones that are different color. Like if the whole team's in blue, they'll be in like white or something. And they can just kind of run on and off without having to stop the game for a substitution, which is fun. But
there you go.
None of the players in my team want to do it because they all want to hit the ball and attack.
Fair. So just to rewind on that, digging's the one where you like hold your fists together and put your thumbs there, and it's like boom.
And you'll be like lifting your arms up.
Yeah, and then you said spike.
Spike is just hitting it.
Okay.
And then setting it is like when you put your hands out and like kind of do it with your fingertips. You kind of push it up
gently.
It's hard to do it when people can't actually see me. But so basically, one person serves. All the places have numbers, but I don't want to confuse you.
Okay, you probably will. Yeah, I'm not.
That's fine. So one person serves, and they're in they're in position 1, which I don't think I'll go into because it's hard. But
so
basically, you have 1, which is the back. If you're looking at like the net.
You got 3 in the front, 3 in the back.
3 in the back. So 1 is the bottom right, and then counterclockwise you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, so does everyone get a job at all of them?
You rotate.
Okay, except the libera.
The libero.
The libero.
Libero.
Bro.
Well, yeah, you rotate, but you stay like if you're the setter, you stay the setter. Unless depending on, there's a lot of different ways you can play it.
Okay,
but.
So does everyone get a turn at serving?
Yes.
Okay.
Except for the libero.
Except for libero.
Libero.
I love that word. I'm gonna try and slide it into all my sentences today.
But yeah, so someone serves, and it has to. You have 8 seconds. The ref blows the whistle, and then you have 8 seconds to like I do like a bounce, and then I hit it. And then I serve.
Oh, so is it like
I just have a little routine. Some people do, some people don't.
Okay, yeah. So it's like kickers in like rugby league where they have to like do the amount of hand waves or do like the Macarena before they kick. It's like their thing.
Yeah, sure.
Is that your thing? You have one of those before you serve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people do. I do. Then you serve it, and it goes over the net.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. And then you the other team, someone. So digs it, passes it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes...
Thing. Yeah. The hand thumb thing for
passes.
anyone who's not visualising that.
Hopefully it goes to the setter. So the setter is the one that like sets up the spike for the hitters. So they'll usually
just pops it up.
Yeah, they do the fingertips pushing it up. And there are different like calls for it. There's like what my club uses is like...
You don't want to give away the secret, would you?
Well, I'm not explaining what they are. Or there's like A, B, C. And they all mean something different. And usually the hitter will say, "I want this" to the spiker before, to the setter beforehand.
Okay, so
the setter will just say, "I'm doing this. Okay, be ready."
So they're the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If the spiker says, "Move,"
If
say
you're
how
in the
far.
way of the setter may push you. I've been pushed before because I used to be a middle, so I would stand in the middle, and the setter usually is in the middle, like in the front somewhere.
Yeah.
And I have been pushed, but I haven't fallen over, so that's fine.
We love
So
that.
yeah, they set it. Someone hits it, like down at the opponent, and then the opponent tries to pass it back up, get it to their setter, hit it. It's just a lot of back and forth.
Nice.
Yeah, until someone either gets it out, which is there's on the net. There's 2 red poles.
Yeah.
So if you go around on the outside of the poles, it's out, or if you just hit outside of the lines, it's out. But you as the player are allowed to go out.
Yeah, because
Run out.
yeah, right. Okay. So, is it like can you still hit it in the air if it's like out?
Yes.
So it's only out when it hits the ground.
Well, it's out. So unless the only time where it's out, where you can't really do anything about it, is if it goes past the 2. They're like white and red sticks at the end of the net, essentially. But if someone almost hits it out and you save it, that's fine.
Oh, okay, righto.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's a really good start to volleyball. I'm now well educated. I'll have to have a go one day. So now that we've kind of talked about the rules, why don't we talk a little bit about scoring? So I've looked at the ladder there for volleyball, and it says like 5-1, 5-0, or 4-1, and all the rest of that. So how does scoring go?
So you have sets, which that is what it is. So the better clubs, like Canberra and Australia, they'll play 5 sets. So 5, like one set is first to 25.
Okay.
Or if the other team's like on 24.
So you have to win by 2
You have
points.
to win by 2 after
Okay.
that. But if like they're on 10 and you're on 24 and you win 25, you won.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's 1 point for each time the ball goes down or something happens, where you need to like reset and serve again.
Yeah, first to 25 5 times basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get like a point, if you will, on your scorecard.
Yeah.
So like 4-1 it'd be like I won 4 sets. Yeah, easy as.
Yeah.
There you go. So as we're just looking at the ladder, we've looked at the AVL, Australian Volleyball League men's one. And I actually saw just in my little research that Canberra Heat are actually the longest serving club with the AVL. So represent. We've stuck around for the longest. A bit like a South Sydney Origin club.
Yeah.
Nice. Everyone knows I already take everything back to the Rabbitohs.
Yeah,
I know. Of course you do.
Yeah. I tell everyone, my friend who only wears Rabbitohs jerseys.
That's me.
I'm shocked to see you in anything else.
Yeah, actually, today I'm wearing my Indigenous Raiders shirt.
I know. Shocked.
Because, Raiders made the finals, so.
I don't know.
The Rabbits lost pretty badly, actually.
Yeah, I saw some TikToks about it, and I was like, maybe I should text Maggie, but.
Yeah. It was an emotional weekend. We were feeling it.
Yeah.
Anyway, just looked at the first round of the AVL men. Canberra Heat won 4-1. Actually, all results in that first round were 4-1. So pretty big floggings, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So Adelaide and Western Australia also came out on top. I like how it's like state. Well, kind of like state, except for Canberra. Canberra's, people call it ACT.
Yeah.
Like Canberra sometimes too.
Yeah.
I hate when they're always like, a decision has come out of Canberra. It's like, whoa. We didn't decide, like, us Canberrans did not decide this. This was the politicians. Yeah. Whoa. We were up. And somebody will text me like, what's going on there? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a politics student.
I have no idea what's happening.
No, because one of my mates is really on the pulse of all the happenings in politics. So if anyone ever asks me a question of like, why was this decided? I always just go to them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
have a friend who's like back in my hometown. He's with the Greens, and he's like running and stuff. And whenever I go, I don't understand. I just text him and go, can you explain this to me? Like,
I will do my due diligence as a citizen and research things before I vote or anything.
Yeah,
but
course.
There's just so much going on.
There's so much for our 20-year-old selves to figure out.
Yes, my little 20-year-old bean brain, I am trying really hard.
I'm trying to understand.
I'm trying to remember what I did in my teaching degree.
Me.
Slay. Because we're talking about Napoli and all the rest of that at the moment, which is boring to everyone listening right now. So we'll go to the second round of AVL. So Melbourne actually beat Canberra in the second round of the men's.
Yeah, only by one set.
Only by one set, so 3-2, like pretty close. Adelaide absolutely slaughtered New South Wales, which as an original New South Welshman, that's
I know.
It's
sad.
Yes, it is.
But also, we're Canberrans now.
Are we?
And we live here, so I guess.
I suppose.
My driver's license says I am.
Oh god, you don't want that. WA flogged Queensland.
Yep.
Which the poor buggers, they're not having a good go.
Mm.
Round 3, Canberra's up again, but it's against New South Wales. And they flogged them. So
yeah,
good to see Canberra doing well. And New South Wales actually got a win in round 4. So yes, but it's against the Queensland Pirates, who have not won a single game, which is really unfortunate.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Well, you know how in the footy they do Origin? Could you do Canberra would be one of the original teams. I wonder what the other closest original team is. And then they could have like an Origin, but for volleyball. I'd get invested in that. I mean, if any...
Is that what the Origin's about?
So Origin's like when you have New South Wales and Queensland first for 3 games.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
But it's because they're like the oldest clubs.
So... It's so State of Origin's like where your first footy club was.
Yes.
Yeah. So I started in Canberra, but if I somehow started with the Park Spacemen growing up, that would mean if I was selected, because I never will be, for New South Wales, I could go to New South Wales.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Oh, slay! I don't. You but that's how that works.
Okay.
So
yeah, you're teaching me about stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because I mean, all that useless knowledge. It's good that it's actually going into something.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go. How are the women doing in the Canberra Heat?
I've watched one of their games and I think they won. But
did they? Wasn't that the first one with Queensland Pirates? Was that the one you watched? Maybe. Because they got done. They got done pretty badly.
I don't remember. Let me get the women's up.
Yeah, so we're not doing too terribly in the women's. We've won 2 out of the 4 games, so I mean like that's sitting about middle of the ladder, I reckon. We're 5th.
Out of 6.
That's not middle. I'm so sorry. All Canberra Heat fans out there, I'm so sorry.
But you know who's on the bottom? New South Wales.
Oh god.
So
it's always the way. Always the way.
Queensland's on top, this one.
Queensland's on top.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's good.
Look how the turntables.
Look how they've got some. They've got someone to, boost up the Queensland ratings.
No, but they're so tall.
Who?
The Canberra Heat.
Are they?
Yeah. I look at them and I go, I aspire to be as tall as you. Like the men's, like a lot. They're all over like 6'4".
There you go.
Except for their libero, because the libero defense usually short.
You have to be closer to the ground.
So they're 6 foot still.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I went with my partner George.
Yes, we love George.
We were like trying to like figure out, because while they're playing, we're sitting, so we're trying to figure out how tall they actually are. And George was like just shy of the libero. And George was shorter. Yeah.
And George is a tall man for anyone.
Yeah.
Like George is tall.
George is like 6 foot.
I look up to him, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah. But no, that was their shortest player, and then everyone else was like 6'4", 6'5". They were all massive. And especially on the Australian team, their setter is like 7 foot.
7
like,
foot.
I walked up to him when I saw them play, and I genuinely I was shocked at how tall. They're all so tall.
I mean, I'm 5'5". Like, looking up at them.
I think I'm 5'6". So
there you go.
Yeah, it was a big shock, because I was sitting on the stands, so you're kind of watching them from a bit far away, and you're like, oh, they're not that tall. And then at the end of the game, you can go up to them and like say hi, get stuff signed.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
that they actually actively do that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
You take photos. I was too shy, but I got some merch, but it's just not signed.
Oh, big sad. Well, I'll have to help you get that signed. You know how I am. So we were just talking about volleyball, and in the break, I asked Roseanna if she knew what volley squash was.
I have no idea.
Okay, so squash.
Yes.
Think about squash. You know how it's like in a bit of a box kind of thing?
Yep.
And you've got the back walls and everything. So volley squash is just volleyball played in a squash court.
Oh, okay.
So you can use the walls and everything.
Yeah.
So back where I'm from in parks, it's really big. Like we have volley squash courts, like they're squash courts, but everyone uses them for volley squash. Yeah. So you have.
So it's like you just play against yourself, really.
No, you got two teams either side,
okay.
but you can smack it up against the wall, and it's more like a children's kind of ball. Like it's like one of those ones that'd have like Thomas the Tank Engine on it or something. Yeah. Like it's not not like a proper volleyball. Yeah. And you like smack it up against the wall if you have enough strength. And like you're still diving and all the rest of it all around the court. I've seen people's scuffed up legs from like...
Oh, you should see the bruise I have on my knee right now from volleyball.
How'd you manage that one?
Like how did I get it?
Yeah.
Oh, so one of my friends, her serve is like crazy. She's 14, but I'm scared of her serve.
Oh.
She's like so good. And we were just playing like friendly games at the end of training, and my knees were sweaty. So, you know, I moved up my knee pads a bit, and because it was quite hot in there, and then she served at me because we're friends and she can aim it at me, and then I dove for it, and then I just had the worst bruise you've seen.
Even with knee pads?
Oh, well, the knee pads were like, it was like half knee pads, so it didn't do anything. I just slammed straight into like the thing.
Like death slide on your knees.
Yeah, it's really bad. I'll show you later.
Okay.
But yeah.
There you go. So
it's pretty brutal sometimes. I've like gotten hit in the face. My glasses flew off. They had to stop the game. I couldn't see for 10 seconds. I was like blinking.
Like,
and,
Velma kind of like, I can't see my glasses.
Yeah, exactly. My teammates had to pick up my glasses because I just couldn't see them.
Oh, God. Yeah. That's an effort and a half. Ooh. Excuse me. What was that? So we talked about the Libra, which sounds like a star sign now that I've thought about it. But what's your position? What do you usually...
Depending on what team I'm playing with.
Fair.
I'm different. So in the team that I am with, ACT Dragons, shout out, in my team, Spike. I play in the Open Leagues, Division 1.
So you're smacking them.
Yeah, Spike. I
nice.
Spike a lot. I'm an outside hitter or an opposite hitter. I hit, you know.
Absolutely.
And it's
no misses, just hit.
And it's pretty standard, you know. Block, run back, get the ball if it comes to you, pass it to the setter. The setter might give it to you if they like you, and then hit it. Mainly, I like being up the front.
Yeah, nice.
Blocking and hitting because it's fun. But I used to play middle, which is usually reserved for the tall people. And I evidently am so tall. I think on my previous team last year, they were all quite short, so I was...
Oh, so that's why you were the middle tallest, then. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
And the middle, just blocking, hitting.
So blocking?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So when the other team spikes, you like jump up with your hands in the air basically and try and like make a wall and stop it, like stop the momentum back to them.
Oh, okay, righto.
I didn't explain that.
No, we're here now though.
Yeah,
it's fine.
So I love being in the front, blocking and spiking. I try to set, but it's bad. It's okay.
At least there's effort. Like,
yeah.
You tried.
Well, as the middle, sometimes you're like standing because you're in the middle, which is usually kind of where the setter is. So that's why I've gotten pushed and like stuff like that.
There you go.
Because I'm in the way, and then I'll be like, I'm sorry, but it's okay. It's the game.
Well, I mean, bringing it back to rugby league, if you're in the road, they're like, get out of the road. There's usually a couple of extra words with that one, but I don't know how verbal you guys get at volleyball with different words.
Not that much.
Yeah, okay.
Not that much. It's mainly just like all you hear is like mine or like yours, or you yell at someone, or you yell like the number alphabet things that I was saying, like 2 or 1, 11, 0,
There you
5, 4, 3, all of them.
Yeah, no, in most of the sports actually I've played, there's been a lot of expletives thrown out. Hockey, not as much as football, but still a fair bit. Like, people get cranky.
I think football, the crowd is mainly where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
Like the audience, the spectators.
I know I've definitely had a couple and shouted out things like, should have gone to Specsavers, ref. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Yeah. I love doing that.
And all, like, I know we need refs to keep our games going, but like...
There's a lot of refs for volleyball, actually.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
you have your main ref, which is the one on the big tower, so they can kind of like see down on the game. And then
also, like the tennis woman, like that sits up on the big chair.
It's like that.
Right.
So they're like the main one blowing the whistle, telling you like, oh, it's this team's point, you get to serve, whatever. I mean, they don't talk. They do it all with their hands because you're too far away. Yeah. And then you get your second ref, which is on the floor, but just opposite side of the net. And they just look at like the net. If anyone touches the net, you're not allowed to touch the net unless like the ball, like if the ball touches the net, then that's fine. But like you can't touch the net.
Yeah. So like if it hits the ground,
foot
like
faults as well.
Oh, so you're not allowed to like with serving.
Like when you're serving, you can't. You're outside of the box.
Oh, yeah, right.
And the second ref will, like, you can't. The net is like the line.
Yeah.
And so if the opposite team puts their foot over the line, then it's like it's the other team's point.
If they put it under the net.
Yeah, you can't like put it like completely over the net.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, and then you have line refs, which is just like looking at the box like in each corner.
So how many
and they
people?
have a flag. Look, it can be.
Do you need more people reffing than playing, Millie?
No. You probably need like 6 people reffing.
Yeah, wow.
Which is like main ref, second ref, 2 lines people, and then scoring people. Like there's, for our open league, we have a sheet that we have to fill out, and then you have to do like the one on the wall that's the electronic like points keeper. But yeah.
Is your like points keeper, like the scoreboard, actually like working majority of the time?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, like on
it, like
on
it works.
Yeah,
like it's functional. Majority?
Yeah. The ones we use like the Lynham hockey court ones.
Oh, there you go.
The hockey centre.
Yeah, so like where they play indoor. Is that where you play?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because I mean, out in the Central West, you always struggled to have electronic things working. Half the time you wouldn't know how much time you had left in what was going on. You were just running around hoping that it was like 30 seconds left.
Yeah, you get like, it doesn't have a time on it, but you see your points and like how many sets you've won and stuff like that. Because we only play to 3 sets. Because we only have an hour to play.
So it's an hour game? Is it like broken up into quarters or? Yeah,
so you just, after your first set, you break for like 1 minute. Run to the other side because you swap sides.
Yeah, okay.
Like in football.
Nice.
Yeah, and you just keep playing and then time out sometimes.
So, with our weird and wacky sport today, I think we might have found a sport that the Moves Like Jagger might help. I don't know if it really would, but Zorbing. Do you want to take us away with Zorbing?
Yeah, so some of you may have done it in like primary school. I know I had a few birthday parties where kids would rent out Zorbs and we'd go to them, but essentially it's a big plastic ball. A lot of people refer to it as like a hamster ball where there's 2 layers. One, like there's a cushion layer and then there's like the inside bit where you go.
And they like zip you up in it.
And they zip you up and then you roll.
You just roll.
You roll. One with the ball.
One with the ball. I know I tried this at the show, and by the show I mean like out in the country we have like the park show and people that all know the Royal Easter show. But so they had this thing and it was on water for mine. So they had this big pool and they were just zipping kids up into these ball things. And they just let him go wild.
Oh, in the water?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, they had the Zorb balls on the water, so you can either do it on land or in water. So I've only done it on water.
I didn't know you could do it in water. I've only done it on land.
Yeah, it's weird. It's one of the very few memories I have from the show is just being in that thing and wondering how can I get out?
Yeah. What am I doing?
Once you're in there, you're a bit stuck, unfortunately. Yeah, so, yeah, well, I've lined up for that one before. So I think the original sport of Zorbing, if you will, was just rolling around like races kind of thing. Yeah. Like they call the people in the ball Zorbonauts, which I think is great.
So cute.
Yeah. I don't think you could have found a better word for for people running around in big plastic balls, the Zorbonauts.
Zorbonauts.
Yeah. Have you ever seen any Zorbonauts in the wild?
No, I mean, like I said, I've done it because people like rented them out for parties, but no, I've never seen any advertising for any things happening, at least in Canberra or New South Wales, Newcastle area.
I mean, I've only driven past one once, and I saw him going ham, and I thought, wow, like I want to do that. I want to do the land one. I want to have a crack at running. I just think it'd be funny.
I feel like I'd fall over and roll around a lot.
Would you hurt yourself inside
Once
those
you
things?
get the momentum and you fall, you're just like rolling around in that tiny ball inside the bigger ball.
I suppose that's how your brain kind of feels.
Yeah.
In a way.
Oh my God, that's so deep.
Yeah. It's just
so
just
true.
in a Zorb ball the entire time. There you go. Yeah,
We're
so
all really a Zorb ball, if you think about it.
well, the world's just a Zorb ball. So, if you haven't seen a Zorb ball before, it's about the size of a small car. They zip you up inside it. They put a bit of air in there so you can breathe. Yeah. So, apparently they can reach speeds of about 25 miles per hour. So,
miles?
Yeah, they've said miles here. So, pretty fast kilometre-wise.
Yeah, for sure. That's... Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine a ball in a grass space going that fast.
It's making me think of like Jimmy Neutron when he would like missed the school bus and he was like jumping on this thing or had like a gumball that he blew up. Yeah. That's a really niche reference for anyone who saw Jimmy Neutron growing up, kind of got the gist of what was going on there. But it's so weird to me. Like, yeah, just running in balls. People decide like, yep, that's what I want to do.
Well, I've looked on this fun facts website and Rebecca Masonson, she holds a lot of the world records for Zorbing.
There you go.
She's kind of a legend. She, I think, currently holds the world record for the fastest Zorbing ride. She rode at 32 miles per hour.
Oh, there you go. So she broke the speed barrier for Zorbs.
Oh, wait. Later, Keith Culver broke her record.
Bloody Keith.
Oh, with also a speed of 32 miles per hour. So they're both going 32 miles per hour.
Nice. They're both going pretty fast.
Yeah.
I want to know how they've like wound up going that fast. Like, was it a really big hill? Yeah, like who pushed them? Like, how did you run that fast?
Well, I saw this YouTube video in the break, and basically they had two balls next to each other, massive, and they had like two like wires, like not like wires, but like thick rope, and it like held them, and then in the race they like pulled away the rope, and then it just rolled.
So like squeezed the rope kinda, or like squeezed for speed?
Oh no, it was like downhill.
Oh,
so they just like let them go.
Oh.
And then they just rolled.
So it was like
hill.
a stopper kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the handbrake in your Zorb. You only have.
Well, they're not gonna slingshot the Zorb. I feel like
that'd be so much fun though.
I would love to do that, but I'd
like,
be really scared
and really dangerous.
Yeah,
actually,
it'd be a massive slingshot as well because they're like probably like 5 meters tall or something.
Yeah, like they're not little. I feel like
I think 5 is too big.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4.
But I feel like volleyball friends that we were talking about before might have a bit of trouble squeezing into a Zorb. I mean, I'm a little stocky gal, so I mean I fit in just fine. But I feel like a poor 7-foot person. Yeah, I don't think Zorbing's for them. I think they've found their calling in volleyball.
Unless they find a really, really big Zorb.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what the biggest Zorb they make is.
I wonder. Do you reckon they'd make it big enough? I don't know if they'd make it big enough for people 7 foot. How many?
I feel like it'd be a lot to even, like the pressure for the air in the Zorb is also a lot, you know.
Yeah, the science surrounding Zorb balls. We had a little bit of a look at different kinds of Zorbing, and we were reminded of the Zorbing where you have your legs free.
Yes, body Zorbing.
Body Zorbing, yes. So you can play soccer.
Yeah, you can play different games. You don't have your arms, so it's mainly anything that you can do with your feet. But yeah, soccer. Again, I think I did it at birthday parties when I was in primary school.
I want to know what parties you were invited to. That sounds like a vibe.
Private school parties.
Oh, okay.
Rich kid parties.
Right.
So, yeah.
Nice. I had some good parties growing up.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a pontoon, like on the water?
No.
There's like a big inflatable, so it's still inflatable, big like inflatable thing on the water, and it has like obstacle courses on it.
Yeah.
So like you can go around.
Is it like Wipeout?
It's a little bit like Wipeout. Like it honestly is, and they were some of the best parties growing up, honestly, was getting a pontoon on the pool and getting all your mates.
Yeah.
And seeing who could like get through the obstacle course, and they'd used to put soap all over it, and kids would just go nuts for hours. It was so much fun.
I don't think I ever did that.
It's fun. It's I don't know if that's a really niche like country kid thing to do. I don't even know how much it'd cost. But like that was the best parties growing up. Shout out to my mum for organising those. So good. Kids went feral and they slept very well those nights. After
Tire them out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So body Zorbing, another inflatable thing.
So this one's just your legs are free. You're still kind of in a ball, but there's obviously a hole in the ball for yourself.
Yes. Not in the soccer ball, but in the...
No. Some of them your head actually pokes out, so it's only like half of a ball. Like you kind of like have it around your shoulders.
Yeah.
But some of them your head's in the Zorb.
Oh.
So limited vision.
There you
I'm
go.
guessing.
Well, I mean, I produce a lot of heat, a lot of body heat. I feel like I just fog it up.
I feel like I'd sweat and it'd just be like...
and not see anything. But I feel like I'd be one of those people who goes hell for leather.
Yeah.
And those kind of things. So I'm like, I've got protection around me. It won't hurt. Yeah. And I'll just go smack into people and take people. Are you allowed to take people out? I wonder. I wonder if they had to smack someone in the next week, because I probably would, to be honest.
But you have to also think about getting up. You don't have arms. You are just legs.
Oh, God.
And also, it's probably like decent 10 kilos on you, like on your shoulders.
Yeah.
That you have to kind of like...
I probably still would. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably still would.
I would try, yeah.
Yeah,
but then I'd get really sad if I was over, because then I feel like, I don't know, you might be able to do it. Like get up. Yeah. And then keep going. But I feel like I'd be stuck like a turtle.
Yeah. I wonder how you would get up from one of those things, like if no one around you was not in a ball, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, would you be stuck or...
Well, I think you like kind of like try and get the ball upright, and maybe you like get on your knees and push yourself up, but I don't know, because kids do this, so surely it's not that hard.
Yeah. No, kids do things. Surely it's not,
yeah, surely like it's not that heavy. I think I might be just making it more dramatic in my head.
I don't know, it seems pretty dramatic. I'd like to see some of the YouTube videos put a bit of like dun 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 as people are running, like just make it real dramatic and elegant. Yeah. So Zorbing as a weird sport. I think a question we could ask this week is, what would you do if you were stuck in a Zorb ball?
Like a full ball?
Like a full ball. If you were stuck,
where am I? Just on the grass, on a field?
Anywhere. Like, what would you do? Because you'd be stuck. But yeah. So a question for the listeners out there, DM me at ontherighttrack.podcast on Instagram. What would you do if you were stuck in a Zorb ball? I want to know how you'd get out of it, because I don't know how I'd get out of mine. What's my plan?
Tactic?
I've never really thought about getting stuck in a Zorb ball, to be honest. Usually when people ask me like, oh, what's your plan for this? I've got something.
Yeah.
This one I got nothing.
Yeah, usually like, oh, I do this, and this, but now you have no idea.
That brings us to the end of the show. today. I'd like to thank Roseanna for joining me in on the studio.
Thank you for inviting me.
No worries. Thanks for coming in. Really, really handy to chat to. Always love a good chat with you.
Yeah.
So question of the week, if anyone had missed it, is what would you do if you were stuck in a Zorb ball? So DM me at ontherighttrack.podcast on Instagram and have your say. And if we have anyone actually respond to those questions that I throw out, we'll bring it up in the next episode. Thanks for listening in once again. Thanks for joining us on The Right Track. I'm your host, as always, Maggie Wright.